No, it's not a surprise. I mean, when you lose Paul George, and now all of a sudden you have to figure out what your roster makeup is going to look like, what your bench is going to look like, and he has value. Okay, you say, well, how could he have value? He didn't really, no, he played well coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And there's value, and you have other players in the league, and particularly the Denver Nuggets and Jokić and his ex-teammate and DeAndre Jordan saying, man, I think we should try to take a look at this. Because he could bring that energy, that firepower, that leadership that he has, whatever the case is coming off the bench. Now, whether or not Mike Malone could handle him and get him to conform to what they're trying to do, much like Ty Lue, that's a different story. But no, I'm not surprised at all. It's a low money,
$4 million.
$4 million bucks. So it's not like you're talking about $40 million. It's $4 million. He can play, though. He can play NBA basketball.
So why wouldn't Ty Lue say we got to keep Russ?
Because their plan might have changed now that Jones is in and Kawhi is out. And they got some other pieces that they need to look at. I'm sure that's what it is.
Well, I think...
And he has value.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how much value being an older player. He's more valuable to, like, a championship contender, which the Clippers aren't. That right now. Once you lose Paul George, you throw that out the window, Skip. So now you like, shoot, what are we really thinking? What direction are we going in
what direction?
right now?
What are we doing?
So, yeah, I got James Harden and I got Kawhi, but maybe we could put another younger player in this position, Skip, to where we could develop. Because as constructed right now, the Clippers are not a championship contender, especially when you lose Paul George in the free agency. So if you can try to get some value for Russ and do him a favor or, you know, do something to where you could put Russ in position to be like a mentor or something and maybe get him to Oklahoma City. I could see him going back there. You know, I actually would love to see Russ go to a place like OKC, maybe Memphis, behind one of these young, great guards as an older vet who's well-respected in this league, you know, who's probably going to be a player that's going to come off the bench now as he was. You know, I think, you know, he has probably a few more years left, if that. You know, so I would like to see him in that role. Russ is respected. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer, one of the all-time great players, of course. So if you can get behind like a Ja Morant or Shai Gilgeous, but still have an opportunity to win, I like that role in him. So, you know, the Clippers trying to trade him because right now, the Clippers is all over the place.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what they trying to accomplish, really. Like, because to me, it's not saying championship. You don't let Paul George go for one more extra year. We got the richest owner in basketball. We're moving into our own arena. Like, make this make sense. So I'm not surprised at all because I really don't know sometimes what's going on.
And in Denver, Cole Pope left, right? In free agency and whatnot. So there's a void there, right? And you just, there's the energy that he brings for those 10, 15 minutes that he's in or whatever minutes he gets. It's just a certain energy. And to me, that's a lot of value. When you have a veteran player that can come into a situation, and Paul mentioned championship caliber team. Well, that's Denver.
Yeah.
They got championship caliber team.
Also.
Okay, think about this. Russell Westbrook is clearly and obviously a first-ballot slam dunk Hall of Famer.
Slam dunk.
In large part because 4 out of 5 years he averaged something that I thought I'd never see 1 year of, and that was a triple-double. He did it 4 out of 5 years. Crazy. It's just crazy because it's impossible.
We'll never see that again in our lifetimes.
We'll never see it again. So, slam dunk, first ballot.
Yeah.
Yet, look at what's happened to him. He had KD in OKC, and KD said, no, I can't win with him. I got to go join forces with those guys in Golden State. And then Russ had Paul George in Oklahoma City, and Paul George tried it for a year, and it was all happy hugs. And then Paul George said, no, I'm out. I'm going to go join Kawhi. If I have a chance, I'm going to go join Kawhi and go home to Southern California. And then Russ goes to James Harden in Houston, and it blows up after a year, and it doesn't work, and they do not invite him, those two. And then he goes to Washington with Bradley Beal, and it never quite lifts off, and it doesn't work. And then LeBron says, we'll take him, and LeBron and AD both push for Russ. And about a half year into it, they're both like, we got to get out from under this. And it became a disaster.
That's why I say nobody want to play with West.
Okay, well, I'm just showing
letting
you.
him finish. Let him finish, man.
Okay. And so now he comes to the Clippers, and I thought Ty Lue worked miracles with him last year. Seriously.
I do.
That was the best you could get. Remember, Russ is now, he's going to play next year at 36, and he's played 15 years. And his knees are not good. He's got big knee issues on both sides. He ices them the second he gets out of the game. But he can give you, what did he do last year? 23 minutes a game. It's pretty good.
Still explosive.
He's still explosive. He was 11, 5, and 5. Those are pretty decent numbers.
Man, they paying dudes $100 million at 11, 5, and 5.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
No, they are, Skip.
Okay, 11, 5, and 5. And yet, once again, he shot last year 27% from three because I'm not exaggerating this. He is a horrible three-point shooter.
Well, he doesn't shoot the three well.
Okay, it's seven of the last.
Very obvious,
seven
right?
of his last 10 years, he's been below 30%. It's just hard. Some nights it's hard to overcome because on top of that, 4 times he's led the whole league in turnovers. But Ty Lue cut those. I'm sure Ty sat him down and said, you cannot turn the basketball over like you do. You got to be more careful with it because this is just me. I've said this 1,000 times on this show. In all my years of watching point guards, as explosive as he is, as first ballot as he is, he's got the worst pair of point guard hands I have ever seen. He just can't.
But he's not a true.
I don't know what he is.
Guard. A true point guard is CP3.
Okay, but if you can average a triple-double 4 out of 5 years, you're doing something right assisting the basketball, right?
You're assisting it right, but you're not really necessarily running the offense and doing that sort of thing.
He wasn't a natural-born point guard.
No.
And at UCLA, he was there, what, 2 years? And I watched him a lot because they had good players, you know. They had a bunch of NBA-bound players.
Minutes.
And I would watch it. I couldn't see any of it. I just couldn't say, oh, there he is. And what was he, like the 4th overall pick by Sam Presti? And way to go, Sam. He scored again.
But he can play.
Diamond in the rough. Well, he can attack, man, like nobody at 6, what do we give him, 6'3"-ish?
Man, he seemed tall to me. I don't know how tall he is.
You got to understand, even when you couldn't see it in his game, you could see it always in his mentality.
No, I understand that.
And his athleticism
and
is
his
crazy.
drive. And that's like, if I'm a GM or I'm a scout, that's going to be one of the number one things I'm looking at going forward is how much of a drive does this athlete have? How much does he care? Because these athletes, man, they got all the skill in the world, Skip, and it just never materializes because they don't have the mindset that Russ has. And that's valuable.
Yeah.
As a competitor, that's valuable as a leader in the locker room.
It is.
And that's what's driven him past his expectation to be who he is today.
Well, you kept making the point last year when they were on their roll that he was the driving force of it.
And then when he got hurt and they all of a sudden started
they
competing.
went down. And then when he came back, they started playing better again.
Yeah.
And look, Skip, when you talk about his career, his timeline, they did go to the championship at OKC. They did get there.
That's KD, Russ, and James Harden.
But they got there.
Yeah. And they had Ibaka.
But they got there.
Okay.
So it's not like he had only individual success by getting triple doubles. We can't look at the Washington and Bradley Beal. You can't look at that. You can't look at those type of stops, or even Houston at the end and James Harden, who didn't want to be there to begin with. Like, you can't look at that. Even when you look at the Lakers situation, it wasn't about LeBron and AD as much as it was about Darvin Ham. He didn't see eye to eye. They didn't see eye to eye. So at that point,
hey, trust me,
it was like
I know that one. That didn't work from jump.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. So he came into the door already with issues there, side eyeing me, not giving me my minutes, talking a certain way. So in the end, those were the results. Communication. Ty Lue gives the communication, and you say, okay. He's done well with Ty Lue. Why would they want to move him at this point? It's not necessarily Ty Lue that's looking to move him. The GM is saying, hey, we may be able to get something back in value because we're going in a different direction now. Here's a couple teams that's sniffing around. That's all it is. That's all it is.
But he's on the move again.
I understand when you look at his body of work, Skip, right? You look at all the body of work, and you say, damn, again?
Again.
But it happens.
Well, I truly believe that he got value.
Yes, he does.
He does have value based on his contract.
If he wasn't,
it's not going to be a huge ask as far as contractually.
Because he opted in for the 4, so it's a done deal. Like, you're done. You
you're
get
gonna give
him
me
for
my 4 regardless. I'm gonna get my 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get the 4, and you know what? If you can snag a couple second-round picks for Russ, and
Or maybe you looking for a backup something.
or a young guy that you could develop, okay, but you're doing Russ a favor, actually, because them as constructed are no longer a contender.
Yeah, but you think Russ could help because it was the right fit last year. It was
What is going to help them do, Skip?
What is going on?
well,
What is he going to help them do?
but you're acting like the Clippers are just garbage. They're not garbage.
I'm with Paul though.
What is he?
What are they really gonna do?
Think about this, Skip. I got James Harden, my point guard. How old is James Harden? About 30?
36 or 7.
How old is Westbrook?
He's good.
Same.
He'll
So
play
now you
36,
want to
yeah.
have the oldest
Backcourt.
starting point guard and backup on the same. I can, you know,
Okay.
it don't.
Look,
you don't
what
want
they're
that.
doing, they are Kawhi or bust. They're saying we're all in on Kawhi, and we want him to be the focal point as opposed to sharing with Paul George.
In a
That's what they
young
said.
guard's
Well,
league.
that was a mistake by them.
Okay, well, there you go.
That was
In a young guards league, you don't want 2 36-year-olds in a young guards league, and you're trying to win.
And-
So I get it. You know, this has nothing to do with Westbrook. It has nothing to do because he contributes, but I don't want 2 36-year-old point guards
And not only that,
on my roster.
and not only that, Westbrook
more
is at a
balance.
point. Westbrook is at a point in his career, though, Skip. He should be looking to leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
He should be the one saying,
Absolutely.
I need to get over there because 15 years, umpteen millions,
We need to
okay,
get-
hundreds of millions, whether it's shoe money or in-game money, whatever it is, off the court money, he's good there. Put that aside. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Put that aside. But the one thing that he's missing is the championship. So right now, he should ring chase.
Yeah, okay.
Go
I'll
get
buy
them
that.
12 minutes over in Boston if you can to get another ring.
But Denver would work.
Okay,
Denver, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
OKC is
could
where they're
work.
going to appreciate it.
Yeah, OKC.
That's
could.
where he made his name.
Man, he should go get
And
that ring.
He got an opportunity there, too.
Yeah, he does.
That's where he
Better
made
opportunity.
his name. In OKC, they need to get him back over there.
Take a look at
mentor
Dallas.
Shea.
Wherever,
Yes, Sean.
find the spot you can get a ring at.
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting one at the Clippers.
Okay.
Not happening.
Nah, not
To
Dallas.
Joker, I would say buyer beware because Joker could fall right into the LeBron trap and say, "Uh-oh, we can't win with this." If you play him high, if you play him more than 23 minutes,
But I don't think he's going in. If he was to go to Denver, he's not going into Denver to be a starter. Remember, he was with the Lakers as a starter.
He was
it all
supposed to
fell
be,
apart when they said, come sit over here with us for a few minutes.
Well, Darvin tried to tell him that before it all started.
Yeah, but how did you try to tell him? What was the conversation? How was it presented?
You know how it was presented.
Presented
like,
right.
I'm the coach and you're the player.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
work like
No.
that. I'm a star.
that-
Even though you might think I'm a falling star, I'm bigger than you right now. You're not getting ready to treat me like
I
that.
wasn't feeling that either. I wasn't feeling that.
Do you remember the first game? Russ said, I didn't know what to do with myself. So he goes up the tunnel during the first quarter and sits on the bike and pedals the bike.
Yeah.
He
That's
said,
a
I've
transition,
never not
Skip.
started, so I had to sort of keep my
That's a
knees going,
transition.
right?
That's a transition, Skip, when
Yeah.
that happened to me. When
You went through that.
I went through that. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do.
With who?
Like, when you start
team?
all your career and then you go from that to not starting. So I was starting on Brooklyn, then I started coming off the bench. And now, think about this. As an older player, you go through the layup line, you break a sweat. Now you go to the bench to start the game. Say you come in at the 6 minutes mark.
Yep.
But you don't understand actual time on the bench after warming up, it might be like 20 minutes.
Sure.
So you like actually sat for
Cold
20
again.
minutes at 36. You cold. Like, you don't know. So you gotta like stay warm at 36. You can't, and coming off the bench, you don't got no time. You don't got no time to get ready. You gotta come in and hit the ground running, or you coming right back out.
Yeah, I didn't realize they set you in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but then I went back to the starting lineup. But yeah, I sat a little
After
bit.
you complained, you went back to start.
Clipper Paul sat.
But Wizard Paul.
Wizard Paul started.
Yeah.
Wizard Paul started.
Yeah, because they needed to fill the arena with some seats, and they just needed to be competitive.
We were super competitive.
Y'all won 19 games or something.
We went to the playoffs.
Hey,
went to the
Keyshawn, he called game.
No, I know. I was just messing with
You
him.
need to go back to that, bro. Keyshawn need to go to. You like these new generation kids. You need YouTube.
No, I don't. I know what I'm dealing with. I'm not fooled by anything.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.